Hey everybody, welcome back, and we got ourselves 136 for this season here. And last season, because we used the boost twice, we ended us off at a nice 23. Yes, a nice 2-3. Very, very juicy shit there. Now also, I'm fully aware that if you did look at the description of it, I only had the one. I said I was going to update that. I never did, because I only realised it the night before, and then I completely forgot about it again. So I apologise for that. As I did make one, although it was 2 days after. It was 2 days before I viewed it myself, so I don't know where the fuck I went to. In all honesty, I'm usually on top of that shit. But now we're going to leave that in the past. It is what it is. But this is now what we're going to be doing here. You know, the usual. Going to be going over the teams, all that shit. You know, the usual scuba doo. And the first up is going to be the Pathin. As you see here, this is going to be the main Pathin here. And as we've learned from last season, go for the hardest fights. Now, the end of it was a bit skewy for me in some sense, because of the way it was, and you'll soon see in a minute. But that is where we get to the issue with my philosophy from what happened last season. Even though it was at the beginning and not the end, the ending is far more important. Even if you go for the slightly easier at the beginning, always do the hardest fights at the end, no matter what. But again, we'll discuss that when we get there. Still going to be the main path, and you can go for 2 different fights at the beginning, but I obviously recommend the one I've already drawn. So yeah, that's what we're going to work with. Now, before we even get to the teams, we're going to be doing the colours. The colours are going to be these here, and this is going to be the main stuff. So obviously prioritise as much as you can the primary colour, and then focus the team around that. As of currently, whenever I did look at characters, it wasn't like a great selection, but it also was a decent selection. But it's very heavily blue. I will say that much. And characters within it that are purple aren't exactly very abundant. But again, we can get into that later. But now we're going to be having a look at the Pathin. And obviously first up is going to be the one in front of us here, the free to play stage. Very easy enough. It's a full colour wheel, except for green. But red and purple, main issues. You could also go for this here, but with this here, it's going to be slightly harder, and this one, with the teams whenever we see it later, will actually be more beneficial. So yeah, we can see that later on. Next up will be the 4 fist here, up against a nice and easy stage. Pace easy, red's the main issue, and tag yellow. So yeah, 5 fist, again, very easy stage. I haven't seen this in ages. First time this is ever back, but very good nonetheless. First boss fight is Dragon Ball Saga. Very green heavy. So yeah. And again, whenever we get to the teams later, you will see what I'm talking about. And next up is going to be the 5 fist over here. Go over to 5 fist, 5 fist, 5 fist into 5 fist. It's a fucking 5 fist. The lower bullshit. Red. Okay, so yes, still very good for our teams. This here is where we get the issue. This here is the main issue because, again, 3 greens. To which we also had here. But the difference is, this one, not as bad. It's a lot more manageable because you have an EX unit and 2 Sparkings, whereas here, it was 3 Sparkings. Although slightly lower stars, it can balance it out. And still, next up, 5 fists. Same situation we had before, piss easy enough. This here, very, very good for our teams later. Very good. So yeah, and this is where we get to the issue, because you can see the 5 fists here. Pretty easy enough. The 4 fist is basically the same fight. But the Thailands are more beneficial on this one, and if we go this way we have a 4-5-4 into a 5, when we go for the 5-3-4. Now, conundrum with this here was the fact that it begins with the 5 fist and ends with an easier 5 fist, which is going to be this here. This will be the easier 5 fist. You could make an argument for another fight, but we can look at it in a minute. But it's the fact that if you go this direction, go over here, you're only getting 12 fists in total before you get to the boss fight. Whereas if you go this direction, you get a total of 13. And with a higher score, you are more certainly going to need to go to the upper side. That's the only reason. But yes, 5 fists, very green heavy, which is also a very bad issue with compared to this here, which is very non-green heavy, very neutral. And yeah, the tiles are a bit better over here, but it's the issue, the fact that, again, latter half of the stage, you want to get the most points. 4 fists, I mean, just double blues and yellows, you're going to be fine enough, I think, this here. Omega obviously going to be your main issue. Then lastly, going this way, you have the tag fight. Hell no, go for this here and you're looking to suicide. Because you have 4 reverse colours, 1 singular colour, and a tag unit with 2 colours. Good luck trying to do anything. That's all I will say. So this here will be the easier fight. Now, when I've said you can be questioned if which is easier, because you can say this is easier because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 ultras on lower stars, with 1 being at the base, and then a 5-star on left. You can make the argument, but it's the fact that this here is purple heavy, and again, when we get to characters later on, you'll see what I'm talking about. Whereas here, you have mostly yellow as your main issue because there's 2 of them, but it's a more colour wheel rounder, so it's the only issue. But in fairness, yeah, no, I was going to say in fairness you can go for this fight, but it's basically the same if you just go this way, which means you just go in that direction. So yeah, we're going to have to end off this fight here, which is going to be the issue. But yeah, that's been it this here. We're going to be having a look-see at our recommended allies so we know who to build teams off. And as you see here, it will load up. Come on. There we are. Season details, recommended allies. Here we go. The Boo Boys, Regen, Majin Buu, Sun Family, Vegeta Clan. So in other words, very decent enough. You would think there's like little to no characters. You can make a very good team. And I've got 4 of them. So yeah, we will be having a look at those. But be careful. And don't forget this here. There's the tag units that have both Vegeta Clan and Sun Family. So you're getting 10%. Basically getting 20% from Majin Buu and then these 2. So always make sure you have them on the team. Make sure you have them on the team, otherwise you're missing out on a boost. But we'll get into that. But if you want to be a safer option, the best option to go for, I think, would be Regen and Majin Buu Saga. As like a non-boosted team, you need to run them. Because you'll be safer with the most amount of, there'll be a safe amount of points, and it's all going to be consistent 20. Whereas if you don't, well then you're going to be wasting your time on 15% for every single character. So yeah, we're having a look at the team, so yeah, let's get into this. And the first team up is going to be the 100%, 120%, sorry, can't speak, with the Regen only. Now I have this here because, you know, not many people are going to have the new unit, so this is going to be the most free, the most baseline that you can get out of it. Because Majin Buu and Regen are the top 2, so with 10%, so you get 20% out of it, so this will be the best team we have here. It's mostly free to play, a lot of Zenkais, so you know you can get yourself a very good deal out of it, I can say that much. Next up is going to be the 125%. However, this is with the new unit. So, take that as you will, and you can definitely run it. But this is the Vegeta Clan side, so a wee bit, I think, less Zenkais than if it was the Goku family. But we'll get that later. This is going to be the purely Vegeta, and that's tag unit Zenkai and the Fusion Goku and Vegeta. Both have the Vegeta Clan and Sun Family tag, so you definitely use them 100%. And this is the Goku family side, so as you see there, a lot more Zenkais, because you have 2 Zenkais on the bench and 4 Zenkais on the field. So yeah, and again, it's going to be the same boosting. It's just the fact that you run Goku units. And again, the Vegeta Fusion and the tag unit are going to be getting the Vegeta Clan and Goku, so you're going to be getting the extra boost, which is why it's 80 instead of the 70, which was for Regen. So you can use this here 100% most certainly. And last up is going to be the 140% teams. That's right, teams. Now this is basically just a Regen team with Goku and Vegeta on this here, so nothing of it has changed too much. I've only kept the Buhan on there because he kind of needed red, considering that we saw earlier on that the yellows are actually quite high. So we do need a good enough red, which unfortunately both teams do technically lack, except for the Vegeta Clan and the Goku family do have Zenkais, but still, this is the best we're going to get if we want to do Regen only. And then this here is going to be the mix of both of them. In other words, I mean, you can't exactly, for bench wise, you can't do much because you can't get 20%. The 3 units, the 3 blue units for Goku and Vegeta are the only ones you can get for 20%. The rest of them are going to be 15. So you're going to have to compose it mostly of Regen, and this is what we have here. If you really want to, And I have no ops against this here. Instead of the LF Kid Buu, have the EX Kid Buu. Because more people probably have pulled him more than anything else. And that's been it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If I did leave anything out, I will definitely answer them in the comment section below. I will definitely answer them. I have done before. I will do. So yeah, be rest assured I will answer them to the best of my knowledge. But yeah, I shall see you so in next one.